What is the weirdest thing that you ate? Well, fire ants come to mind. I spilled some Cheetos once when I was a kid, and when I went to eat one, I ate a fire ant. Needless to say, I threw away those Cheetos. The other weird thing that I've eaten. The only other thing I can think of is an ingredient called, I can't even remember it, it's a green sauce pesto. On a burger, no less. It was fantastic. I definitely recommend a pesto burger. I'm not one of those guys who's gone out and had, tongue or ear stuff like that. I'm Hispanic and I would try it. Just haven't really had the chance or ever really looked for it. Well, shit. Crazy lady. I was going to say the beverage ice from below my sills encapsulated placenta baggy. And that hopefully very little had leached out. And then grinding my teeth trying not to say that a placenta's a filter. Like my aquarium has. You toss it when you're done and is full of selenium and lead. But I was pregnant at the same time, and adult beverages are nice. And have it cold or have it warm. So I had my beverage with placenta ice. I was in Tijuana with some Mexican friends, and they got me tacos from a street vendor by speaking in Spanish, which I didn't understand. They were delicious. However, a couple hours later my friends explained that the meat was eyeball meat. I don't know if they meant the muscles that actually turn the eye different directions, inside the orbit of the skull, or the meat of the face around the eye. I felt sick, even though it was 2 hours later. Strangest thing I tried to eat is durian. I'll be honest. Its taste is reminiscent of juicy fruit, but that smell was a dumpster behind Taco Bell in the summer rain. Because the smell is the most discernible trait. Something not talked about is its fibrous texture. It's like if pineapple was impossibly chewy. Like a tongue almost. Yellow dumpster tongue. My senses couldn't handle it, so I had to spit it out. It's definitely an acquired taste. My grandma tricked me into thinking goat's brain stew was made with minced meat. I've seen my family eat this before and heard about the texture, so figured out at once when I took a bite. It's kind of like a fat cartilage hybrid. Quite chewy and slightly rubbery. The dish was seasoned really well, and I was just hyper aware of these chewy pieces of brain in my mouth and couldn't continue. LOL. Not trying that again. That I can remember. Ostrich burger. It wasn't really all that good and it ran right through me. Oh, and peanut butter and mustard sandwiches are my weird peanut butter sandwiches. During my pot smoking days, though, we would have a supply of mini marshmallows, peanut butter, and chocolate chips. You spread a little PB on the end of a mini marshmallow and place a chocolate chip and munch. When I was 3, a tub of Sudocrem, which is like nappy rash cream. When I was 5, 6, I used to pick up food that had been dropped on the playground floor at school and eat it. I also remember one of my school friends giving me some of her prescription medications to try. She had mild cerebral palsy, I think. I survived. Bit mad that they let her take it unsupervised though. In high school, when Fear Factor was big on TV, my friend who was on the social committee convinced me to sign up for our high school version of it. First challenge was to bob for grapes. Got past that one. Easy. Second challenge was to eat pig uterus. I think it was bald. It was insanely rubbery and I couldn't chew or swallow. Got eliminated in that one. Strange animals parts wise. I've ate crickets, snails, grasshoppers, mealworms, scorpions, smoked pig's brains and eyeballs. Fantastic. Rocky Mountain oysters also fantastic. I saw someone mention PB in spaghetti. I've done this in my high days with soy sauce for pothead pad thai. Also craved that shit when I was preggo. LOL. In Taiwan, sales partner took us to a nice restaurant. One of the appetizers was frog legs, but they were still attached to the frog. Aside from the plate and the bed of lettuce, it might as well been 6th grade science dissecting frogs. How the thing was flat on its back, but cooked. Tasted like chicken, just smaller bones. Talk meat soup during Jungbok in Korea. Delicious. But the weirdest thing I eat regularly, like once a month, is kangaroo. Local butcher has an exotic meats freezer, and I always get some kangaroo when it comes in. It's like venison, absolutely delicious if you like gamey meat. Goes well in a stir-fry, chili, or burgers. Hakal, aged and fermented Greenland shark. Fizzy ammoniated spoiled fish taste on the tongue, with a lingering aftertaste of dirty urinal and dead nightcrawlers. I swear it's an inside joke the Icelanders play on tourists. She lick American couple in the corner. There he don't laugh again, Magnus. Rabbit, squirrel, rattlesnake, moose, elk, alligator, Rocky Mountain oysters, octopus, pheasant. Well, okay, maybe that's not out there. Caviar, frog legs. Clearly I'm not afraid to try different foods. There's definitely a few that I wouldn't touch with a 50-foot pole, but pufferfish and shark are on my list. My baby brother's cast-off umbilical cord. I was about 5 years old and found it on the couch cushion and thought it was a raisin. It sure didn't taste like a raisin, but I powered through and swallowed it. It wasn't until later that I realized what it was. I thought it was just a bad raisin. While vacationing in Iceland, I did eat the fermented shark. YouTube videos did warn me not to smell it before trying to eat it because once you smell it, you'd never eat it. It did taste something like formaldehyde, and even a shot of the local hard liquor couldn't really wash away the taste. Chicken feet is a Chinese thing, I believe. One of my favorites as a kid when we went to dim sum in Chinatown. It's basically just eating soft chicken skin wrapped around bones which you can't eat, but the seasoning is awesome. The place also had cold pork with jellyfish rind, tasty. I live in Japan, so some things like fish testes are weird to most, but not all that uncommon here. Lots of innards of different animals too. That said, one year for a friend's birthday I went to a place that specialized in weird meats. I tried axolotl, isopod, and sea lion. I sleepwalked a few weeks ago during a migraine post-drome and ate some lotion lids. Found out when they were missing and found the next day the natural way too. Had also done weird things in my sleepwalking. Hadn't sleptwalked since I was a kid in post-drome. Weird stuff. 1. Around 2 years old. Cheerios fried in a skillet tossed with sugar. We were very poor and didn't have much food. 2. Around 5-6 years old, cold pork and beans from a can with sliced dill pickles. We still very poor. Had very little food and the power had been shut off. That weird spaghetti breakfast concoction a Buddy the Elf made. I just wanted to see what it was like. I have quite a forgiving palate with weird foods, but this was just disgusting. I tried to make myself at least appreciate it. But nah. It was just an awful taste. A few years ago I was traveling through Thailand with some friends. The Thai eat crickets like chips, so I tried it. Then we went to the China section of Bangkok and leave it up to the Chinese to kick that up a notch. I tried stir-fried crickets in stinky tofu sauce. I ate a snake once. Some place, I think it was a fancy restaurant or something, and some dude the waiter was like, "Wanna try our special?" I said yeah, and he gave me this bit of meat and was like, "Do you like it? It's snake." It tasted like chicken. I ate the random leaf off of a tree. I was just outside and wondering if a leaf on a tree tasted good since I didn't like lettuce as they are pretty much the same. So I tried it and actually they taste quite good, at least better than lettuce. Collards. I remember explaining it to friends when they came to celebrate at our house. It's basically a meat jello. Sounds weird but really good if you can get past it. The stick lollipops are attached to toilet paper. Sweet and low type sugar packets including the packet. I do not eat them anymore, although I find myself unraveling the lollipop paper stick with my teeth before I remind myself to stop. Goat testicles. I was a kid and didn't know what I was eating at relative's house in village. I thought maybe its eggs, it tasted just like eggs but a bit rubbery. Found out later what I had eaten and I still gag thinking about it. Rattlesnake. I was stationed in Oklahoma in the 90s, and they have a yearly rattlesnake roundup festival. I guess it keeps the rattlesnake population in check. It tasted like fish with way too many tiny bones. Not recommended. Jar of Pinnacone jelly home from a vacation. I don't remember where she went and dare anyone to try it at a staff meeting. It tasted exactly what you would imagine pine cone jelly would taste like. Sea cucumber. I didn't know they were edible until an ex-girlfriend wanted me to try it because it was one of her favorites while growing up. I can only describe the texture as bouncy. Her family is from Hong Kong. Maybe not the weirdest, but definitely the most shameful. I have not once, but twice eaten French fries I have found underneath the driver's seat of my car. I also must admit they were definitely weeks old. Back in college, I used to mix milk into some jelly for dessert because I didn't have anything else sweet to eat. I've recently been tossing a few ice cubes into my cereal, and that shit hits on hot days. Not me. Guy in my unit ate a dung beetle for $10. Right after that, he ate a scorpion for $10. I should have held out for more money. I ate an earthworm for 25 cents in first grade. Iguana, it was stewed with coconut milk and curry. The meat was fine, when you could find a piece not loaded with bones. But the skin was really not palatable for me. I tried it in Honduras. Cranes, granted. I was a child and undiagnosed autistic. I'm still mocked endlessly by my family. Also, probably $5 in change my poor, loving mother had to be sure made its way out. A cocktail at the Meow Wolf bar in Vegas. You're supposed to eat this flower blossom that changes the taste of the drink, and it tasted too bad. Oh god, my mouth was going numb. Surströmming, it's a Swedish delicacy, rotten fish in a can. I can't say much about the taste, but your sense of smelling just died, and you just want to get it over with.